around that are doing good things, that we have to spend a lot of more time acknowledging that. As opposed to acknowledging, oh, these guys, they running the streets, why they out so late? Okay, we're going to address that and we're going to deal with that. But those who are doing what they are supposed to be doing and not getting enough credit, sometimes those are the ones that'll fall back and say, you know what? Why should I keep being good? Don't nobody know it. Don't nobody see it. But to that young man, I didn't get his name, but I watched him the entire time, and everybody that came through that door, he had the same, that he opened the door and said, welcome to Jerry Baxter. Are you here for the meeting? You can sign in right here. And it was very professional. I'm going to get his name, and then next Saturday, I'm going to give a shout out to him personally.
And I'll make that announcement because we all meet every morning when the kids come. But that's beautiful, and I just want to thank you because as adults, there are two ends of the spectrum. We can either be a part of the problem or we can be a part of the solution. Now you decide which one do you want to be. Do you want to be the problem or the solution to the problem? And just anything, just noticing that right there. What do you have, Jerry?
Well, I wanted to ask, and this is a question I want to ask both of y'all. What is the buy-in for adults to want to help? Because just like LaMonte said, we can take pictures of kids not doing the right thing, but at some point we've got to give back and we've got to do something to change that. So there's definitely a disconnect between the two. But what do we do as adults if someone called in and say, hey, I really want to mentor, but I don't know how? You know, I think that's more important. We can start setting up places and trainings for adults to become mentors, to show the children what to do. Okay.
I think that's such a beautiful as well as legitimate question. We have a call, and I'm going to quickly answer that question, and then I'm going to take you, caller. First of all, I want to give you my number. I'm Minister Brenda Haywood, and my number is 615-473-8339. 615-473-8339. And I meet with adults and the kids every Thursday night at Olivet Baptist Church on Ewing Lane. At Olivet Baptist Church on Ewing Lane. And everyone has their little periphery or their little space. My little space is there, and I'm also a member of St. John in Clarksville, Tennessee. I can always be reached. You can always call me. I can hook you into venues where you can mentor. Another thing, at your church. Start a mentoring program at your church. Start some type of program where you get the kids in your neighborhood, because you know each one of us have to reach someone. But if you're someone out there, if you're not affiliated with a church or a community center, there are kids everywhere. There are venues everywhere. But if you can't actually find someone, there's juvenile court. You can call down there. You can mentor kids. But you can always call me. Myself and LaMonte and Jerry, we're trying to set up something that will be coming down the pike in the near future. You can partner with us. I'm always looking for partners. Just, I'm telling you, I know endless organizations that are doing things with kids. So if you call me, I'm getting my little Facebook page up and running. I'm getting this little social media thing going, which I feel like I'm antiquated. At one point I was saying, well, I think I'm just too old for all of this, but I can't use that excuse anymore because my friends that are, I was telling them that are older than I am, they're about this thing, okay? So I can't use that as an excuse. I think I don't have an excuse anymore. So before too long, you'll be able to go to my web page and all that good stuff. But here it is. We have a caller right now, and I'd like for that caller to go ahead. Yes. Wow. Well, first of all, we just want to tell you, we just appreciate you, number one, for listening, and then we thank you for calling in. Would it be okay with you if you gave us their names? And what grades are they in? Alicia, Imani, and John.
And Ms. Haywood, this is my sister-in-law. This is John, my older brother's wife, and those are my nephews and my nephew and my nieces.
Go ahead and brag, man.
You know, I'm gonna brag. You know, I do. I love my nieces and nephews. They are very respectful.
Yes.
They love their Uncle Mon. I mean, anything that I bring to them, I mean, it can be just a popsicle. I love my nieces and nephews, but I love them not only just because they're my nieces and nephews, but just as she stated,
they're good kids.
They are. I mean, I can go visit my brother and my sister-in-law, and my niece Alicia will be at the table. It'd be like 9 o'clock at night. Like, Alicia, what you doing?
She's
homework, studying. And it pays off because her grades are good.
Yeah.
Imani's grades are good. Lil John, I actually coached him in basketball, and they know that when we're on the court, I'm coach. When I'm off the court, I'm Uncle Mont, but he respects that. So, I mean, shout out to my nieces and nephews. I do appreciate the work you're doing, and to my brother and to Rhonda, the great parents that you are to them that allows them that opportunity to be successful.
Wow, thank you so much for calling. And I want LaMonte and Jerry to know this too. My son was a guest teacher over at Hume Falls on yesterday, and he was talking about the culture there at Hume Falls. He was saying that he had juniors and seniors, and Coach Haywood, he called me, and I mean, we talked extensively. He said, Mama, he said, and he's so much like myself. It's amazing. And he said, I would ask him, where are you going to college? And he said, well, I'm going to MIT. I'm going to Vanderbilt. Everyone knew where they were going to college, Jerry. Everyone knew. I heard him talking to one young man, and one young man says, well, really, I just want to make a difference in the world.
Wow.
He wants to make a difference in the world. Man, and he was just talking about the culture there. He says, Mama, in every class, kids would come in, get their work out, and he had a list of 10 things that he noticed. He noticed that this is a Hume Fall. He said he noticed that there was no cursing. He said there was no horse playing. There was no one trying to bully anyone else. And the list went on. He said, and he read the list to me. He said there was none of that. He said there are no bells. When it's time to leave, they get up and leave. When it's time to come in, he was just talking about the culture of the kids there.
And I'm sure that started way back. I mean, you're talking about from principals to assistant principals to teachers to parents, and cultivating that culture. It takes time, but I know he was impressed.
Does it take a village?
Absolutely, absolutely, and it starts at home. It starts at home. I'm impressed with the bells. I mean, just to know, just to have insight, to look down and be a mature adult and say, hey, it's time for me to go, not being disrespectful. I never knew that about Hume Falls. So
well, it's funny you would say that you're impressed with that, because one thing he had on his list of 10 things was the maturity level of the kids, how mature they were. And it's like you said, and which I so strongly believe in, you know, it's everybody coming together to catapult that type of behavior. You can't just say, well, the teachers didn't do this or this one didn't do it. It's everybody work. Let's talk about what we can do. And everybody's talking about who didn't do what. Well, what can we do? You know, when you study different areas of different paradigms, they talk about that if you have an hour meeting, and I'm not one to do a lot of meeting, and I think I heard you and LaMonte say that too, but if you have an hour meeting, people normally spend 50 minutes talking about the problem, and then another 5 minutes griping about something, and then 5 minutes on the solution. I'm more or less a solution type. What you know, why everybody's everybody knows what the problem is.
You're right, absolutely. Absolutely.
How can we fix it? How can we just come together? And it's been so difficult. But what I found out, guys, a lot of people out there want to be a part of the solution, but it goes back to what Jerry said. A lot of people don't know where to go and how to start or how to get involved. So we want them to get involved. Is that what we want?
Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, because like you said earlier, Jerry and I and you will come together to where we're going to start trying to have something at least once a month. Not one, and it'll continue to grow, because when
but you have to start somewhere.
You have to start somewhere. But we're going to have it to where we're having it at the Inspiration Center down here, to where we'll have it on a maybe Saturday morning, and have speakers come in and speak to the youth, and just even to the parents, just how you can better connect with the kids, how you can better connect with your child,
and answer the question that Jerry posed. And see, we can have kids to come up here and be a part of the radio program, and invite kids down and adults to get involved. And the kids will actually tell you what the problem is and how we can facilitate them.
And a lot of times as adults, we assume we know what the problem is. But if you assume you know what the problem is, then I guess you could know how to